Hello, my name is Ben Sayer. In this video, I'm going to show you why you should be wary of using the Freeform text field in the Edit Source window to capture citations in Reunion for Mac. I've created this tiny family file with only this one person in it and only the one event to demonstrate to you the potential dangers of using the Freeform text field when doing source citations. And so you can see here, if I switch over to the event for the birth, and I've got this one source listed here, I've already entered this citation. And you can see in the list here, it looks fine. If you were to put something that looked like a citation in there, it would appear fine within Reunion. Let me open that up and show you what's in there. So with the Freeform text edit panel here, you can see this is where I've entered it in. So this is where you might type in the name of the source and the various information about the source instead of just this text that we're looking for in this case. And some people are doing this instead of using the source fields and populating these with the information. And so the point here is I want to show you what you might want to consider before you do that, and if you've already started doing that, why you might want to consider going back and populating the source fields. So as we see, it shows up okay in here within Reunion, and indeed, if we create a report, say a person sheet, and make sure sources are turned on, and we preview that, we'll see that indeed the source is going to appear here fine in Reunion. And that's all well and good until you or someone else tries to use your GEDCOM data in another application. And let's have a look at what happens when we do that. I'll just take a sampling of other Mac genealogy software. This same issue would exist in its various forms along other Windows-based or even Linux-based genealogy software, and even web-based for that matter. So let's switch over to iFamily for Leopard, where I've already imported this GEDCOM file. So we can see we've got the person there, and the birth event came through. And we can also see by looking here that sources has an asterisk next to it, meaning that there is a source there. And if we click over here on the events, we can see here indeed that that's where the source is. And so if I click on sources, we can see here all of these fields that are not populated. No author, no title, no date, all that. But we do see the notes come through. So there's some consolation there. At least the notes would be there. The trouble is that while it would be there, if we go up here to reports and create a selected person only report, and we have the checkbox selected for include source references, and we click generate, pages will pop up for me with this person sheet, and we can see here's the source reference. So the citation would appear within a note on this report. So okay, the information is at least there, and it shows that it's a vital record. So that's not so bad, right? Let's get out of that. Let's have a look at another genealogy software. Let's switch over to Mac Family Tree. And in this case, I've, again, already imported the GEDCOM, and it's got the individual here, and here's the birth event down here. And so we can also see that down here on sources, there's a 0. If I click on this event, here the tab for sources shows 1 with no title, no date, no page, and questionable certainty. And if we double click on that source, we'll get up the source information for it. So it says it's associated with the birth event for this person. And none of the fields are populated, as we would expect, because they weren't populated in Reunion. And within the text field, it's dutifully captured what we sent in, what would be the Freeform citation, and tells us that it's 68 characters. The trouble here is if we go into reports and I've generated a person report And we can see down here under sources, it just shows an empty table. Nothing populates because it doesn't show the notes. So that would be trouble if you were trying to switch over to Mac Family Tree and use this on a bunch of data instead of just one person with other citations put into Freeform text. And the last one I want to show you is Family Tree Maker. Again, I've imported that GEDCOM with just the single person in there. Right here you can see it. And here's that birth event. And we can see over here under the Sources tab that there's an entry, but there's nothing in it. Well, there's a period. Okay, there's a period there. And if we look at the tabs for it, of course none of that came through because they weren't populated. It's not under, you'll note that that text is not under notes. And if we look at source, and I double click sources, and we look in here, we've got no repository information. None of this information, the title, none of that was called out in the reunion file, so it didn't come through. Now, distressingly, in the reference note where I would expect, or in notes, that text did not come through. So in this case, with Family Tree Maker, the Freeform citation appears not to have made the transition in through the GEDCOM export at all. So the reason that you want to be wary of using Freeform text only to capture citations within Reunion is that that citation data may not make it into other genealogy software, and if it does, it'll be in a problematic way that makes reporting on information in that database difficult because it may or may not include the source information.